It's time to give credit where credit is due. Yes, Zac Taylor. Well, we're going to talk all about him today on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Happy divisional round of the playoffs. And yeah, we have a lot to get to this week, of course. Joe Burrow's talking later today. We have Zac Taylor later today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And if you missed Bengals on the Brand with Joe Goodberry, make sure you check that out. Check out the OT with Elise Jesse. She's going to have a special guest this week. And that's on Thursday night at 8. Goodberry show was on Tuesday night, so it is ready for you right here on YouTube. And let's dive in because, well, we have a lot to get to. And I just mentioned Zac Taylor talking later today. And look, I think that there's been a lot of criticism thrown at Zac Taylor over his 4 years with the Bengals, certainly more in his first 2 years than the past two. And a lot of it I think is deserved. And I was as critical as anyone. And even after that Super Bowl run, had some questions about Zac, had some questions about this coaching staff. And I thought they were fair. But I also think it's fair now, after a 12-4 season, after back-to-back division titles, after 22 regular season wins over the past 2 years, after winning 4 playoff games in 2 seasons and maybe more, hopefully more, right? We're talking about a guy that is clearly the right guy. And I was, one of the first ones to, I don't think so, man. 6-25-1, it's just shaky and all of these. The Bengals were patient. They deserve credit for being patient. Mike Brown, Katie Blackburn, Duke Tobin, and Zac Taylor deserves credit. And I wanted to do this video today giving Zac Taylor credit because, well, if they go to Buffalo and lose, well, then we're going to be talking about contracts and off-season moves and all of these things. And if they go to Buffalo and win, well, we're going to be talking about an AFC title game, and this could get lost in the sauce. And I don't want it to because Zac Taylor has done one hell of a job. He was the right guy, despite all of the reservations about him, despite all of the questions, and honestly, all of the criticism, a lot of it, again, deserved, especially in the first 2 years. He's found a way to recover from that. And I know going into that 2021 season, one thing I said was, man, not many coaches overcome 6-25-1. And I feel good about saying that because most coaches don't. Well, he's gone 22-11 since, and has shown that he's the right guy, that he can push the right buttons. And Sunday's win over the Ravens was that. It was. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I watched Marvin Lewis for years and years and years here. 16 seasons. A lot of playoff appearances, right? Almost half the time, playoff appearances with Andy Dalton, Carson Palmer, and some injuries in there and all of those things. And I'm not going to regurgitate the past. The point is what would have happened on Sunday against Baltimore if it was a Marvin Lewis coach team with a lot of the players that he relied on in that era. Well, Adam Pac-Man Jones would have gotten a penalty, or Vontaze Burfict would have messed up, or this would have happened, or they would have taken the bait when it comes to Marcus Peters, or they would have they would have melted down as the Ravens were going to take the lead. We've seen it time and time again. And it's really hard to get this team to where Zac Taylor has gotten it, which is this resilient, confident, let's not fold under pressure, even when the entire stadium feels that pressure of a 31-year playoff drought, or even when our quarterbacks gotten sacked 9 times on the road against Tennessee. They just make one more play. They just do. And yeah, they came up short in Super Bowl 56, but damn, they were close. And he had them right in position to win, certainly earlier and ahead of schedule compared to where everybody else had them going into that year, against a team that was literally built to win Super Bowl 56 in the Rams, assembled for that. It was the only thing that was on their mind, which we saw this year, how it crumbled and fell apart for the Rams. Zac Taylor deserves credit. Zac Taylor deserves credit because when you play a divisional opponent like the Ravens and they want to muck it up, and Marcus Peters wants to do what he's doing. And obviously we saw Roquan Smith in week 18 and all of the stuff, the junk, the trash talk, the physicality, everything. Well, we've seen previous Bengals teams melt down. We've seen undisciplined teams across the NFL meltdown. We've seen bad coached teams across the league melt down. You know who would have melted down in that situation? The 2021 Cardinals would have. There would have been a lot of teams that would have folded under that pressure, that would have given up the game in New England, that wouldn't have been able to overcome a 17-0 deficit in Tampa Bay. All of those things, and that's just a few of the many. Wouldn't have been able to overcome an 0-2 start or a 2-3 start. Oh man, all the talking heads saying the Bengals are done. Zac Taylor deserves a ton of credit for it. And there's, Joe Burrow deserves credit. And you could go up and down this roster of veterans and leaders and guys that deserve it. But the guy that kind of gets overlooked some is Zac. And he gets overlooked because he's almost the opposite of some of these players from a star standpoint. Zac Taylor isn't Sean McVay. Right, he's not the star. He's not super flashy. He's not going to weigh whether or not he's going to take an Amazon contract this offseason. No, he's a football coach, and he's good at it. And maybe it wasn't always that way, but it is now. And well, Cincinnati, you found your guy. That's it. And I have some other thoughts about Zac and certain things that Burrow has said. So make sure you stay tuned. But I do have to tell you about MyBookie because it's a new year and you want to give yourself a fresh start with MyBookie. Whether you bet to earn to make the games more exciting or to earn, MyBookie gives you the most for your money with their redesigned deposit bonus. All you have to do is go to MyBookie and use promo code BengalsTalk on a deposit of $50 or more to receive a cash bonus. Boom. Instantly to your MyBookie account. Using this bonus is simple. You bet that deposit amount just once. And again, you got to use that promo code BengalsTalk and you're ready to cash out. It's no strings attached with MyBookie. You can bet on the NFL, UFC, college hoops, and so much more, the NBA at MyBookie. The playoffs are here. It's time to cash in with MyBookie and promo code BengalsTalk. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Zac Taylor, he has won over Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow called him the best head coach in the NFL when he was talking with Maria Taylor of NBC Sports before their win over the Ravens. And one, if you win over Joe Burrow, even if there were questions, and look, there's always going to be game management, clock management. That happens on all 32 teams in all 32 cities. Well, it's not 32, but in every NFL city, there's going to be questions, especially when you lose. There just is, no doubt. There's going to be play calling things. Welcome to life in the NFL. Bill Belichick still gets questioned. Right? And not this year. I mean, when they were still glory days Patriots, Bill Belichick still got questioned about plenty of things. Not playing Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. So, point is, Zac is the guy. And one thing that really stands out to me about Zac, the game balls idea is the best idea he's had in this organization has carried out since drafting Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell. And it's awesome. It's awesome because these are the glory days. These are the times in 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years where a lot of us are going to look back and be like, man, the Bengals had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Zac Taylor was their head coach and T. Higgins. And on that defense, they had Trey Hendrickson and Jesse Bates on the back end and Von Bell and Mike Hilton. And these are the days because I do it about an 05 team that never won anything besides a division title, never advanced in the playoffs. And it was my favorite year ever growing up, watching that team. And it was so much fun. And so think about it now. 4 playoff wins. It's awesome. So understand that this is when you want to enjoy every second. These are the good old days and you're in them right now. Shout out to Andy Bernard for that. You know you're in them. I'm letting you know now. These are them. And it's been a lot of fun. And so I think that part of it, that the game balls part of it, that's just going to be another layer. Were you at the Blind Pig when Zac Taylor walked in? Were you at Mount Lookout Tavern for that first game ball last year? That is such a cool experience. Were you in OTR when Tyler Boyd dropped off a game ball? It's just awesome. And I think that quality, that likable quality, that's what stunk when the Bengals stunk under Zac, is because he was always likable. What's there not to like? But now they're winning, and now you get to see more of that personality. And he came up with that idea, which is just awesome. So shout out to him for that. Shout out to him for carrying it out again. And also shout out to First Star Logistics, because they sent, for those that don't know, and I don't expect you to watch every single video here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk, but my daughter is 2 weeks old today. Little Quinn is 2 weeks old, and First Star Logistics sent just the motherload of outfits, Bengals outfits, Bearcats outfits, non-sports outfits, hats. And I have a couple of things that they sent out, and a cool Bengals ball, like awesome. We got Bearcats, the Bearcat, we got the Bengal Teddy, which both super soft, and so much more. And I was like, I'm going to grab some of these things. I don't have any of the outfits down here, but just a ton for her. She's already swagged out. Thanks to First Star. Thanks to Kevin Bernhardt for sending, and shout out to you for sending that, Kevin. I really appreciated it. Wanted to let me give you a shout out right here. It was hand delivered, by the way, dropped off on our doorstep, and it was really, really generous, and I really appreciate it. I know Quinn does, and well, she certainly has an outfit for Sunday's matchup against the Bills. So that's going to do it now. You're going to hear from Joe Burrow later today, Zac Taylor later today, other locker room interviews as well coming your way. We're just getting started. It's playoff week, and we're excited here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And for Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now on CBT, Cincinnati Bengals Talk.